Have you ever walked through a garage sale and thought, I wonder if there's anything valuable here? Or maybe you've watched one of those TV shows where someone buys an old lamp for $5 only to discover it's worth $500. It makes you wonder, what valuable things have I overlooked in my own home? Welcome back to Frugal Formula. If you watched part 1, you've already discovered 8 simple ways to turn clutter into cash. Hopefully, you've already started looking around your house a little differently. Today, we're finishing the countdown with what I believe are the 7 best moneymakers, including my #1 strategy that completely changed the way I think about garage sales, estate sales, flea markets, and even the things sitting in my own house. If you missed part 1, don't worry. You can always watch it after this video. But for now, let's continue the countdown. Number 7, tools sitting in the garage. If you've ever been to an estate sale, you've probably noticed something. There's always a garage full of tools, power drills, circular saws, socket sets, air compressors, ladders, extension cords, hand tools. The funny thing is, many of us own duplicates and don't even realize it. I know people, including myself, who've bought another screwdriver simply because they couldn't find the first one. Then, 6 months later, there they both are. If you have 3 of something, you probably only need 2. Quality tools hold their value remarkably well, especially older American-made tools. So before you let them rust another year, consider letting someone else put them to work. Your garage gets cleaner, your wallet gets a little thicker. That's a pretty good trade. Number 6, holiday decorations. Now let's talk about something that's very close to home. At least in my house, my wonderful wife absolutely loves decorating for the holidays. Christmas, Halloween, fall, spring, patriotic holidays. If there's an excuse to decorate, we're probably decorating. The problem is, those decorations spend about 11 months every year sitting inside storage bins. And we have, well, let's just say, we have enough bins to open a small holiday museum. At one point, I finally suggested a simple rule. Every time we buy a new decoration, let's sell or donate an old one. That little rule has actually worked pretty well. Holiday decorations are one of those categories where timing matters. List Christmas decorations in October, Halloween decorations in September. People are shopping before the season, not after. A little planning can often mean a much higher selling price. Number 5, jewelry you never wear. Open your jewelry box. Or maybe that little drawer where old watches and necklaces have been sitting for years. You might be surprised. Gold chains, silver bracelets, single earrings, broken necklaces, old watches. Even damaged jewelry can still have value. I've been to enough estate sales and garage sales to know that people tend to accumulate jewelry over a lifetime. Some of it is costume jewelry, some of it isn't. If you're unsure, have someone look at it. You may discover that an old necklace tucked away in a drawer is worth far more than you imagined. And even if something isn't valuable enough to sell, you might be able to repurpose it. My wife has taken older pieces to a jeweler and transformed them into something she'll actually wear. That's a great alternative to letting it collect dust. Number 4, collectibles. This is where things get interesting because one person's junk really can become another person's treasure. Sports cards, comic books, vinyl records, old advertising signs, trading cards, vintage toys, coins. Here's a story. When my dad passed away, we found his old coin collection. As a kid, I remember him buying and selling coins. Naturally, I assumed we had discovered a fortune. Well, not exactly. Many of those coins turned out to be reproductions with the tiny word copy stamped on them. That was a little disappointing, but not everything was worthless. Some coins had enough value that my sister took the collection to a coin dealer. When everything was said and done, we split about $100. Not life-changing money, but certainly worth taking the time to investigate. The lesson, don't assume. Research first. 5 minutes of research can save you from donating something that's worth real money. Let me ask you something. What's the oldest thing in your house that you've been hanging on to? An old coin collection, vintage toys, grandma's china. Maybe it's something else entirely. Leave me a comment. I read every one of them, and your ideas often inspire future videos. Now, let's get into my favorite selling strategy. Number 3, bundle similar items. Here's a trick that has made selling so much easier for me. Bundle things together. Instead of listing 12 cassette tapes separately, sell all 12 together. Instead of listing children's clothes, one piece at a time, create one bundle: kitchen utensils, craft supplies, DVDs, books, tools. Here's one of my favorite stories. Years ago, I had a collection of ABBA cassette tapes. Yes, I'm old enough to remember cassette tapes. I bundled a dozen together and listed them on eBay. To my surprise, they sold for considerably more than I expected. When I packed the box, I even tossed in 2 bonus tapes for the buyer. Who knows, maybe somewhere out there, someone is still enjoying my old ABBA collection. And yes, if you're wondering, I still think ABBA is one of the greatest pop groups ever. Feel free to disagree in the comments. Just know you'll be wrong. Number 2, make decluttering a monthly habit. Here's where everything starts to change. Most people wait until they absolutely have to clean out the garage, or until they're moving, or until they simply run out of room. Instead, spend 30 minutes each month. One closet, one cabinet, one shelf, one storage bin. That's it. Decluttering becomes much less overwhelming when you stop trying to tackle your entire house in one weekend. And something interesting happens. Every time you sell a few items, you gain a little momentum. You notice the extra space. You enjoy the extra cash. Before long, decluttering stops feeling like work. It starts feeling rewarding. Number 1, learn to spot value. This is the strategy I promised at the beginning. And honestly, it's the one that completely changed how I think about money. Once you've sold enough of your own belongings, you begin recognizing value almost automatically. You'll walk through garage sales differently. Estate sales become treasure hunts. You'll recognize quality furniture, collectible kitchenware, vintage tools, older electronics, things that other people overlook. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job and become a full-time reseller. There are professionals who do this every weekend. They're incredibly knowledgeable, but that doesn't mean you can't make a little extra money. One trick I use is incredibly simple. Open the Google app, take a picture, search using Google Lens. Within seconds, you'll usually know what the item is called, know what similar items have sold for, and whether it's worth taking a closer look. Technology has made treasure hunting much easier than it used to be. The more you practice, the better your eye becomes. And that's why this is my number 1 tip. Because this isn't just about selling clutter. It's about learning to recognize opportunity. Once you develop that skill, you may never look at garage sales or your own attic this same way again. Bonus tip: presentation sales. Before we wrap up, one final piece of advice. Take good pictures, natural light, a clean background, multiple angles, honest descriptions. Include measurements whenever possible. When I sell furniture, I always include every measurement I can think of. It saves everyone time. And one more thing. If it's heavy, tell buyers they'll need to bring help. Trust me, your back will thank you, bringing it all together. Trust me, over these 2 videos, we've uncovered 15 different ways to turn clutter into cash. But here's the bigger lesson. Decluttering isn't really about getting rid of stuff. It's about changing the way you think. Every unused item represents money you've already spent. As long as it sits unused, it isn't helping your finances. But once you sell it, that money starts working for you again. Maybe it pays a utility bill. Maybe it helps fund a vacation. Maybe it builds your emergency fund. Or maybe it simply gives you a little more breathing room. And these days, I think we could all use a little more breathing room. Call to action. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the strangest or most valuable thing you've ever sold? Tell us in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to start decluttering this weekend. If you enjoyed this 2-part series, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Here at Frugal Formula, We're always looking for practical, realistic ways to save money. Make extra money and build lasting wealth without feeling deprived. Until next time, live frugal, leave smarter. Because remember, small savings, smart decisions, and consistent action are the formula for lasting wealth. Decisions and consistent action are the formula for lasting wealth. Decisions and consistent action are the formula for lasting wealth.